The Trader Cobb Crypto Show, talking business in blockchain.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Trader Cobb Crypto Show. Today's guest, I have the absolute pleasure of bringing somebody who's done quite a lot in what I'll say is probably a pretty short life thus far. I've got Aries here, who's the co-founder of Bibox, an exchange you would have seen within the top 10 on CMC, and we're going to get to that shortly. He's also a partner at BlackWater Capital, and Aries as well. I hear you're writing a book. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, guys.
It's mate. Look, I've got his bio here. Check this out. It's massive, right? The bio here, it's huge. You've done a great deal in your short time on this earth, or maybe it's that you're a bit older. You just managed to age yourself very, very well. I want to know your secrets, but I mean, look, you've come into this this marketplace and you've grabbed it by the horns. Okay. Now, of course, Bibox is the exchange that I want to talk to you about. Do you want to just give us a little bit of an introduction as to what brought you into the exchange world and when you set it up?
Sure. That's time back to 2017. I got a chance to meet my current partner, which is Jeffrey Lay, who was also the co-founder of OKCoin Group. And OKCoin, as we all understand, is one of the top Bitcoin exchange globally. So in that case, we had a chance to talk to each other. And I was entering into this crypto world back to 2015. And we know Bitcoin very early. And I got a chance to invest a little bit at that time. And after I graduate from the college, then I moved forward into this industrial. And I was very lucky that I met Lay. And he sort of like my mentor, and also gives me a lot of insights of these markets and how the exchange business is gonna work, and there are a lot of opportunities that I can touch in that time. So I was very lucky to bring into this exchange area by Jeffrey. Yeah.
Wow. And I mean, did you have instant success? I mean, 2017 was a pretty spectacular market for crypto assets and blockchain in general. Of course, we saw a number of very strong moves. There's about 3 or 4 of them in that year. They just kept on getting more and more powerful. I mean, did you hit the ground running and just sort of bang, volumes were there? Or did it take a little bit of, stuffing around and getting it wrong and tripping over your shoelaces before you actually hit the nail on the head?
Actually, we did have a very hard time at that time, because back to September 2017, the Chinese government just announced to shut down all the exchanges in mainland China.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And the market was frozen at that time. And everybody was like, I mean, most of the people at that time are not like looking upon this industrial. And I was trying to get in, because I know that a lot of bad time is good time to start. So in that case, we started to do the fundamental structure of the exchange, and we spent a half a year to finish all the technology stuffs. Then we did an initial coins offering, and that back to October 2017.
Wow. So you did your ICO right at the big time. Well done. Right at the beginning of that ramp. And look, whilst we're on this right now, I mean, I know a lot of people just focus on price at the moment, and crypto winter and all this, and the price is down, so therefore everything's bad. But that would be a really immature, I don't mean to say that to be offensive, but it would be a really shallow way of looking at what's going on here. I mean, there's people like yourselves, myself. I mean, we're currently out there building as much as we can right now. Sure, we're certainly not getting the payoff and the reward yet, but we can see what's coming. We know this isn't going anywhere. It sounds like you had a very similar approach back, when everything seems to be really, really bad. It's often the best time to be basically on the treadmill and doing your miles, because once the market comes, you're fit, you're ready, and you can take it on. So there is always what do they say? Well, there's always a diamond in the rough. There you go. We'll take it as that. So you can, I mean, where is the volumes for your exchange right now? I mean, you've been around for a while. You are, Bibox is, I think it's number 6 in CMC's list. What sort of volumes are you pumping through daily at the moment to retain that number 6 spot?
I think a majority of flows coming from the institutions. We have global institutions, not only covers from the traditional hedge funds to the crypto hedge funds, and we definitely welcome a lot of independent retail traders as well. But I think for now, the majority volume coming from the traditional or the crypto institutions.
Okay, so that's quite interesting, and that's on the platform, or is that through an OTC operation? I mean, if I'm trading on Bibox, am I tapping into the same liquidity pool as what the institutions are, or how does that work for you guys?
Actually, on the Bibox side, the official side has no difference between the individual and the traditional institutions. What we do is we do have the encourage plan for different traders. If you are trading reach a certain amount of volume, that I cannot say for instance, 1 million per month, and the fees that we are going to offer is going to be lower. And if you reach to $5 million by trading volume, the fees will be lower as well, even more than what we can expect. Because right now we charge 0.2% by not paying in BX token. But if you pay in BX token, we charge 0.1% by transaction fees. And if you are reaching a certain amount of volume, the fees is going to be dramatically lower. Yeah.
So it's a very similar model to a traditional market exchange, where basically, money talks and low volume walks. Let's say, yeah.
Yeah.
Which will look, it makes sense. Big clients need to have incentives to bring their money across. I totally understand that, and it's interesting. So look, I want to jump in now, and I'm looking. You see me glimpsing across to my right if you're watching this. It's because I got the Bibox over here, the exchange platform. And look, I've spent some time going through it earlier today. I note that you've got some margin trading opportunities. Do you want to just touch on what you've got available and the sort of margin and leverage that you do offer?
Yes, definitely. Actually, right now we have the Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the EOS, the margin trading options. And in the near future, we're going to open the perpetual contracts for Bitcoin. So in that case, for example, right now, the perpetual margin trading for Bitcoin, if you want to trade right now, the Bitcoin, let's say, is $3,000, and you only need to put the margin 120 if you have the 25 times leverage. And right now we offer 50 times, which that means you only need to pay $60 as the margin.
Yeah, nice. Okay. And are you seeing, I mean, is this a new product that you've brought in, or has it been around for a little while, or?
It's kind of new, but it will be coming very soon, February 15th.
Okay, that's unreal. Now, here's the thing, right? I ask this question a lot. I've got a lot of people that I work with, that I teach, that I train, and that I trade with. And look, I'm from traditional markets, right? I'm pretty much exclusively in crypto now. It's the volatility is insane. You don't have to have a lot of trades to do phenomenally well. Some people trade lots. I run a few businesses at the same time as whilst I'm trading. So of course, I prefer to trade fewer trades, but look for really good upside. It's been going very, very well with that sort of with that sort of outcome in mind. Now, one of the things that, look, I've got to be honest with you, that really, really frustrates me is that many of these platforms, many of these exchanges don't have something which for me as a trader seems so obvious and so easy. All right. Now, that is having an entry and a stop loss and a target all in one order. Right now, if I use a platform, generally I've got to I can put in my limit order. So, above this level, put the order in, bang, I get filled. Once I'm filled, then I go and place my stop loss in. I can't have a stop loss and a target in on one position when I'm in, because you've got to cancel one to put the other in. That's not how traders operate. That is not how people that know what they're doing trade. Why do we not have that?
I mean, as you can see, that's a lot of crypto exchanges. They're not like using like fundamental technology as what the stock market does. But what we do is we're keep improving the whole system, and we're trying to match the engine as what the traditional financial stock market does, and a lot of functionalities that we are trying to improve in, like the Asperger and the limit order, the market order, and a lot of different order types that's going to coming out. For professional traders like what you guys does. Yeah.
All right. So I keep getting the same answer, which is, look, I totally get it, because, I'm running businesses here as well. Rome wasn't built in a day. It's kind of like, you might want it, but we're still so early in this ecosystem. We've got to, like, security's got to be your number one first port of call. You've got to be secure. You see if there's any breach of security, say goodbye to your business overnight. Security is massive right now. So that's where your focus really needs to be. Most of the platforms, you can write your APIs. If you've got coders and stuff, you can get this sort of options. But the other thing is the risk management side of things. And, if I go to a traditional platform and I can trade crypto, I can trade on a contract, as a derivative underlined by Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ripple, and a few others depending on what platform. And what it really is, what I find really interesting is that when I'm on these traditional platforms, I can put in my entry level, my stop loss, and my target, let's say, right? And it will show me the dollar risk. It might be the Bitcoin risk if it was to be in these markets, or Bitcoin and dollar. It should be able to calculate it itself. Now, if you were to come up with something like that and be first to market, mate, you would find that you would have a very unique opportunity to take a huge market share there. I personally believe, at least of the sort of clients that you want, which are active clients, because every trader like myself, the stuff that I teach, I'm talking about how important it actually is to manage your risk. But it's very difficult without having those tools. Now, in our community that we've got, we do have these tools available. Some of the guys in there, have written these things, and it's fantastic. But it should be something that you guys are working on to move forward with, because risk management is absolutely important. So what you're saying is, hold your horses. It's all coming.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Look, I'll let you off on that one. I'll let you off on that one. I understand that things don't happen absolutely immediately. Let's talk about the market now. We have undoubtedly seen volumes decrease over the last 12 months. Just how much of a decrease in volume are we talking from this time last year to where we are now?
I think from the operator of the exchange perspective view, the volume decreased dramatically from the individual traders. From institutional traders, there's no decrease, but there's increase in percentage. Yeah, that might be the difference.
And are these institutional accounts, are they very active? Like, I know I've heard a lot of the big guys are in and they're out quite quickly. Is that what you find as well?
Yeah, they're very, very active.
Yeah, and that's what you want as an exchange, right? You want big clients to come and go because you want more volume, and that provides the volume because you can move in and out. Where are most of your institutions based? Is it sort of mainland China based, or is it fairly global?
It's very, very global.
Wow. Okay, that's quite interesting. And it's good to hear. I mean, that's, again, coming back to the trading philosophy, is that, ladies and gentlemen, traders are there to trade. Whether the market's going up or down, there's a buck to be made. You just got to know what you're looking for. And, what Aries has just said here is that the institutions have not stopped. They've not stopped trading. They've not stopped bringing their volatility and their liquidity in and out of the market. It's the retail trader that stop because they're not in power. They don't know. They don't really know what they're doing or how they're going to do it. So look, we have seen the market come off a lot in the last sort of, basically 12, 13 months. got any idea of what a catalyst might be to see it increase again? What sort of things does this market need to see for it to kick back into gear and start to see some more bullish sentiment coming in across the board?
I mean, a lot of people are waiting for the ETF, the Bitcoin ETF being get approved. And some other people more in tech, they would say the speed lightning network going to be more effective. And I mean, there are lots of perspective views, but for my personal opinion, I do want, or I wish, like more and more traditional institutions, they're coming, but the priority or the decision factor is we were trying to build up a very efficient and secure, reliable fundamental structure to attract more and more the traditional financial players to come in and play together. So in that case, that is going to be a positive signal. We change from ourselves and to attract the people from outside, and we'll work together.
Well, that's our focus as well, mate. I mean, the blue ocean is the traditional market participant. What we need to do is we need to work together as a community, as a crypto asset community, on building the products, helping each other, being positive, not getting all salty and negative and throwing abuse everywhere, which we're seeing a lot of at the moment. It's about creating an ecosystem for which these traditional investors feel more comfortable. That requires good derivatives products. We need to be able to hedge ourselves. We need to be able to have that good high volume trading opportunities, with enough of liquidity for us to be able to get out with some big positions, because that's what institutions need. We're seeing them sneaking in through the back door quietly, slowly, small volumes, which is good. They might only be putting 10 or 20 million in, which is a drop in the ocean, but it's a starting point because they can work with those sorts of amounts in this also very quiet market that doesn't have the best depth of liquidity. So as those products increase, as we see more legitimacy, more regulation, I think that's when we're going to start to see that. I wouldn't be surprised to see this year just be more of what we saw in the back end of last year, the back 6 months, which is just build. Let's continue to create the right environment for these types of big institutions to come in. I've got no doubt that it's going to happen. It's just a matter of how quickly can we work as a community to create those tools to make that happen. Anything you'd like to add to that? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Am I an idiot? Am I a fool? Am I on the money?
I definitely think you're right, because we are trying to build up ourselves to getting more and more qualified, to be regulated, to be attracted.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, look, one more question I want to ask, or there's two more I want to ask you actually. Look, we've covered the volume, we've covered the platform, we've covered what's coming, how you've got there in a very short space of time too, I might add, so very well done to you. Is there anything that you want to tell us about that might be coming up, anything exciting, anything new, anything spectacular that Bibox is doing right now?
Yeah, I think right now, for most of exchanges, they're aiming at the derivatives market. A lot of different financial products are coming out. Like last year, Bibox published the Bibox bond, which is a very innovative crypto asset product that we ever had, and even the markets ever had. And in this year, we have the perpetual contracts that are coming out with 50 times leverage for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I think in this area, we definitely want to secure and stabilize the whole platform and to give the confidence for the worldwide traders to come in and trade together. Yeah.
Wow. You heard it first, the exclusive here from Aries of Bibox, leverage products, derivatives coming out with 50 times leverage. That's great. It's music to my ears. I want more options. I want more functionality. I want to be able to work with more exchanges that act more like a platform that makes it easier, right? Like for me, if I want to go and scan the top, I used to trade off of I think it was 46 things I had just in my sort of commodities, bonds, FX, indices globally that I would trade from. And it was wonderful. I got 4 screens here. This one here is not switched on, but the others, I got 3 in front of me. And I haven't got the ease of access. It's so clunky and slow, charting wise, everything wise. So to bring in some products, it's a step in the right direction, and I will certainly be watching the progress of that, and hopefully we can help work on something there. Now, before we go, Aries, where do people find out more about what you're doing and Bibox?
The Zendesk on Bibox.
Excellent. Well, is there a YouTube? I'm sorry, not a YouTube. Have you got Twitter? Are you active in any socials and anything like that to put out news, information, that sort of thing? Or
Yeah, we do have the Bibox 365, the Twitter account, and I hope everybody can follow us.
excellent. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure digging into a bit about Bibox, learning about the future, where you've come from, where you're going. And I thank you so much for being on the show with us today, Aries.
Thank you, Craig. Thanks, everyone.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Have a fantastic day, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Bye for now.
Great.
The Trader Cobb Crypto Show, talking business in blockchain.